Speaking of evil corporation news, let's talk Sony. Now, last week, news broke that Sony was shutting down Bluepoint Games, the creators of the Demon's Souls and the Shadow of Colossus remake. And because they made such good remakes, one of the most annoying communities in the gaming space, the Bloodborne niggas, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be talking about tennis, you could be talking about politics. A Bloodborne nigga is gonna find some way to let you know he's a Bloodborne fan. Like, yeah, man, I was down bad on my luck, couldn't afford lunch, so I went down to the blood bank and I donated plasma. You donated blood? Have you heard of this game called Bloodborne? Nigga, shut the fuck up. I'm poor. I don't want to talk about that. That's what these niggas be on. And what the Bloodborne niggas was hoping and praying for was that if we got a Demon's Souls remake, maybe if we couldn't get a Bloodborne 2, maybe we could get a Bloodborne remake. And I'm here to let you know that it was possible in another timeline. Because according to Bloomberg, Sony's Bluepoint pitched Bloodborne, the remake, before Sony shut it down. Last week, Sony announced the closure of Bluepoint Games, the Austin-based subsidiary behind the acclaimed remakes like Demon's Souls and Shadow of the Colossus. Around 70 people will lose their jobs, although Sony has also given them opportunities to apply for positions at the other studios within the organization. The decision came just 5 years after Sony purchased Bluepoint. They purchased them just to stab them in the back. A period during which the studio failed to release a game on its own. How did Sony executive Herman Hulse go from writing in 2021 that Bluepoint's vast expertise in world building and character creation will be a huge plus for future PlayStation Studios properties to shutting down the studio? Friendly reminder, if you missed the story, Bluepoint was also working on a live service God of War game. So Sony canned that and Bloodborne. The answer's a little complicated. Following the purchase, Bluepoint continued to work helping Sony Santa Monica studio with the development of God of War Ragnarok, released in 2022. After that, the newly acquired PlayStation studio had ambitions to make its own game rather than co-developing or remaking games made by other companies, as they should. They said, we got talent, let me show you. At the time, Sony was all in on live service games. Games designed for continual monetization after launch, aka Robin U. One of these games would be Bluepoint's first original title under PlayStation, a live service game in the God of War franchise, which the organization hoped could support several sequels and spin-offs like its own smaller version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bluepoint began working on a game in which the character Atreus would fall into Hades, and I haven't heard this part. According to people familiar with the project, a loose idea was for the players to control different versions or aspects of Atreus as they battled through Greek hell and had to have some sort of cooperative gameplay and ongoing support, although much of the game's design was in flux. It was an awkward fit for the studio, which hadn't released an original game since 2006 and never tried to develop a live service game. This sounds like it could have been fun if the story was done right. This is disappointing. Because here's the thing, you never know what you want until you see it. Because remember they were working on, Insomniac was working on a rumor to work on that live service Spider-Man game. In my head, I was like, fuck out of here. And then I saw the trailer and I was like, wait a minute, I might try this. You never know. We needed a trailer. It was an awkward fit for the studio, which hadn't released an original game since 2006 and had never tried to develop a live service game. Bluepoint was a small team that was mostly had expertise in art and engineering, not design. Developing a game that hooks players for the long haul is a challenge that even the most experienced studios have struggled to conquer, i.e. BioWare with Anthem. Some Bluepoint staffers grumbled that they should be working on another traditional action game like Demon's Souls or God of War Ragnarok rather than a live service project that few of them seem to want to make. I would probably agree with that. So I can see how some people were frustrated within the studio, going from making remakes to jumping straight. Because in my opinion, although you could argue MMOs are live service games, but this version of live service games as we know them are like the new MMOs. MMOs are notoriously some of the hardest games to develop. They're expensive, constantly rolling out content, finding ways to innovate. Going from remakes to making the most expensive thing, that is a big jump. So I can see how some of the devs were kind of frustrated with maybe the ownership. Even with help from Sony Santa Monica, Bluepoint struggled to make much progress and spent several years floundering. In July 2025, Sony canceled the God of War live service game. When we broke the news, a company spokesperson told me that Sony was working closely with Bluepoint to determine its next project. There was one idea that seemed perfect: Bloodborne, a gothic action game released in 2015 for the PS4. Developed by FromSoftware, Bloodborne is widely considered to be one of the greatest games ever made. And these Bloodborne niggas will never hesitate to let you know. Ah, I just stubbed my toe. I'm bleeding. Did you say your toe just gave birth to blood? It was Bloodborne? Shut the fuck up, nigga. I'm hurt. Shut the fuck up. But its original release suffered from frame rate drops and other technical issues. The reason I never played that shit. I'm not playing no game in 15 frames. I don't care how great it is. Making it the natural fit for the Bluepoint treatment. Fans have been dreaming of a Bloodborne remake for years. And the idea had been so strongly considered at one point was even expected within Bluepoint, but never had a production. In early 2025, when Bluepoint again pitched the idea of Bloodborne's remake, the studio was told that the numbers made sense the studio was told that the numbers made sense, but FromSoftware didn't want it to happen. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. For years, we've been told the reason Bloodborne 2 wasn't made was because Sony didn't want to do it. Oh my God, I didn't know. This is crazy. Everything's a lie. I know on this stream, because I don't give a fuck about Bloodborne, but I want you niggas to have fun. I want you to enjoy the things that you enjoy. So even I was rooting for the Bloodborne community. This feels like a Scooby-Doo moment. When you think it's one person and then they pull the lid off the dude's head. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Mike Huckabee. I don't know why that name came to mind. I thought it was gonna be JD Vance. What the fuck is Mike Huckabee? Holy shit. I'm glad I kept reading this shit. I did not know this. Whoa. Was told the numbers, so Sony said they wanted it, but FromSoftware didn't want it to happen. According to the people familiar with the project, it was you. Former PlayStation executive Yoshida shared a theory last year that this might be the case, saying in an interview with Kinda Funny Games that he thought FromSoftware's president, Hidaka Miyazaki, was interested in remaking the classic game, but was too busy to do it himself and doesn't want anyone to touch it. He added that he thought PlayStation would respect Miyazaki's wishes despite owning the franchise. Faced with the rejection of the remake that made the most sense, Bluepoint had to whip something else up. The studio spent some of the time pitching an updated version of the Shadow of the Colossus, the classic PS2 game that Bluepoint had previously remade in 2018 for the PS4, but Sony turned it down. Okay, so I kind of understand the perspective. Not really. So if you're not following, Miyazaki didn't want the Bloodborne remake because if it was going to be remade, he wants to do it. And my thing is, Bluepoint has proven they're good at making remakes because they made a good remake with, most people like the Demon's Souls remake. I could understand his stance if they were talking about producing Bloodborne 2. Fuck no. Miyazaki and the team, they got to do that. But a remake? Something with just better graphics? Better frame rate? You couldn't let Bluepoint get it? Can y'all blame him? The game is basically like his baby. He wants to hands-on with it. I guess that's one perspective. Sony wanted this though. They wanted this. My thing is like, okay, I understand it's his baby, but if it was just a remake that they pitched, what would he have done different that would have made it so much better? I understand his sentiment towards it, but I don't think the game would have changed that much. And also, they could have brought him in as like, what's the word? A consultant. Like, we'll develop the game, and maybe every 6 months you come into the studio and say, hey, is this up to snuff? If not, what would you change? Just leave us notes and we'll fix it. I feel like there could have been a workaround, and they could have printed money. Bloodborne 2, I'll give them that. Like, nah, Miyazaki got to do that with the A squad. But you could have gave the B team the remake. Yeah, the B team made Night Rain. That's facts. So I don't know. Like, I understand, but I don't know, man. I don't know. This is crazy. Still burning to make an original game, Bluepoint pitched other PlayStation studios on developing new projects and other franchises, such as a spin-off of Ghost of Tsushima, but nothing was greenlit. Some of the other studios, which have already been facing heavy financial pressure in recent years, were concerned about dictating significant resources to another team's project, according to people familiar with their thinking. So Bluepoint, at bare minimum, they're pitching original ideas, they're pitching remakes, they're pitching spin-offs, and Sony, they're both kind of at fault. I'm not gonna lie. Miyazaki was Mutombo in the paint. He said no, 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 and Sony wasn't greenlit in none of it either. This is interesting. By February of this year, Bluepoint had gone more than a year without securing a new project. On February 12th, when Sony announced plans to remake the original God of War trilogy without Bluepoint's involvement, some employees at the studio began to grow uneasy. Exactly 1 week later, they got the news that Bluepoint was shutting down. Behind the scenes, Sony no longer thought Bluepoint was equipped to make its own game and couldn't find a partnership that made sense, according to people familiar with the company's thinking. I feel like that's not fair. Like, they put out good games for you. You never gave them a chance to make their own game. If they would have made their own game and it fucking Floposaurus Rex, then I would understand their standpoint, right? But they didn't even get one. They didn't get one. Just got rid of them. Life ain't fair. That's real too. That's real. It's a tragic end to the game studio that was acclaimed for its technical and artistry proficiency. Bluepoint's 2020 remake of Demon's Souls, which scored a stellar 92 on a review aggregation site Metacritic, was a launch title for the PS5, selling 1.5 million copies, or 4, in its first year in helping move Sony's new console. In recent days, as Bluepoint's former staffers hunted for jobs and tried to figure out what's next, other companies were making phone calls to see if they might be a way to salvage the studio elsewhere, according to people familiar. The prospect may be unlikely, but Bluepoint's technical expertise remains respected across the industry. I told y'all, man, we are at a weird point in the industry where there's so many quality games, so many quality studios that not everybody's gonna make it. For one way or another, for one reason or another. Some studios are not just some studios are producing successful things, but not given a fair shot to create something original. Some studios are creating original things, but maybe don't have the budget to advertise, so then that game doesn't get eyeballs on it. And some games are just not given a chance because some of you bitch ass niggas are obsessed, fucking obsessed with SteamDB.com. And the crazy part is, I don't have any numbers behind this, but I have a theory that a lot of you niggas don't even own gaming PCs that are obsessed with SteamDB. Just sitting up at 5 a.m. looking at the charts. Oh, the player counts down. Let me get a screenshot. Let me get that screenshot and make these people look bad. Look, guys, at 3 a.m., they only average 50,000 players. Look, guys, on a random Tuesday afternoon, they only got 20,000 players. We're no longer critiquing the quality of games. We now determine, and by now, I'm talking about y'all, not me, the quality of a game based off how many people are playing. Shit is getting weird, man. It's getting fucking weird. It's getting so weird to the point where I might as well bring this up. I don't know if I saved it for... I was playing Marathon yesterday. I gave my review of that shit, right? I seen a tweet that went viral this morning. This shit was crazy. Yo, shout out to me. I got a nigga community noted, man. I got my first community note. This is how weird it is. So for those unaware, Marathon is having an open beta right now. And what's really cool is Bungie is being receptive. They pushed out a patch based off y'all feedback today. So they're dropping patches over the next 24 hours. This tweet went viral saying, according to Steam DB, there were mass refund requests after the Marathon beta. He said people hate the beta so much, they're mass refunding the game. You cannot track refunds. It's not public information. Only the developers and the publishers can see that shit. This is what I'm talking about when I say people are pushing weird agendas. So between the lack of advertising, the lack of fair shots, whether the fair shot is not coming from the publisher side or even the gamers, we are gonna get to a point where niggas are hating everything so goddamn much, you're not gonna have anything to play. And yesterday, I checked what games are coming out for the rest of the year. I'm letting y'all know, if you are a ball and gun gamer, if you are primarily a multiplayer only gamer, if this game, because Battlefield's fucking up, if this game does not succeed, it's gonna be a very boring 2026 for y'all. Because go check the schedule of the games that are coming out for the rest of the year. It ain't nothing but banger. Single player games, we eating. Single player gamers? Pragmata, Onimusha, Resident Evil 9, GTA 6. It's banger after banger after Crimson Desert. After banger after banger after banger dropping. Wolverine, Fable. It's gonna be a great year for people, Neo 3, who can sit by themselves and enjoy a game. But if you go look up what's coming out this year, there's no multiplayer bangers after Marathon. The niggas killed High Guard. You're trying to kill Marathon. I said, Phantom Blade. When I seen this shit, I said, oh my God, if Marathon fails, we don't know if Blade is coming out this year. I hope so, but we don't know. We ain't seen no gameplay. I said, if they kill Marathon, oh my God, it might be a Call of Duty year. We might be playing more 2K than ever. 2K27. So I'm just letting y'all know. I didn't mean to go on this tangent, but go look up the game release schedule of 2026. Matter of fact, fuck it. Let's bring it up. Because you multiplayer gamers are not beating the allegations. You guys are fucking yourselves over. 007. Right now, we are at the end of February. So let's go to March. In March, what do we have? Marathon, the only multiplayer game. After that, you got Crimson Desert, Monster Hunter Stories, Mouse PI, all single player. In April, Darwin's Paradox, that's single player. Pragmata, single player. Invincible, that's multiplayer, but fighting games are niche. Ball and gun gamers usually don't have the mental capacity to learn inputs on fighting games, so that don't count. I'm gonna play it, but most of y'all don't really have the IQ to play those games. Sorrow, single player, banger. WWE, I mean, if you want microtransactions, let's see, May. 007 First Light. You said fuck. In May, we got Batman, 007, single player. There's no multiplayer coming out. In June, you niggas can play Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, a game from 10 years ago. But once again, that's a fighting game. Ball and gun gamers don't got the mental capacity for that. August, Marvel Token comes out. Technically multiplayer, but it's got advanced inputs. Y'all niggas not playing that shit. But there is Beast of Reincarnation, another banger. You're not playing that. Phantom Blade Zero in September, banger. October is light. I'm gonna assume because other games have it. Some of these games don't have release dates yet, so some of this probably will come out in October. November, you will get the Holy Grail of Ball and Gun, but there's no guarantee the online will be there day one. Most likely, GTA 6 will launch as a single player game. In December, we don't have anything yet, but there's plenty of other games. I hope. Oh, Marvel's Wolverine comes out in September. They haven't updated this, but that's single player. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from? We gotta expand the vocabulary. We gotta learn to say something. I tried it and it wasn't for me, and that's okay. Cause y'all are killing your own fucking hobby, dude. I hope we understand where we're coming from. I hope we fucking understand. Those who love games are having fun. Yeah, if you just love games, you're having fun. I thought GTA 6 was pushed back to 2027. Yeah, matter of fact, there's no guarantee this is coming out. As far as we know, it's supposed to come out in November, but there's no guarantee. Yeah, you're shooting yourselves in the foot. Yeah, my pocket's gonna be hurting this year. If you're a single player gamer, you're eating good this year. We're eating real good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What else we got? 11, 12. That's multiplayer only. 13. That just came out. 13 games times $70, bruh. I just, and mind you, all these games don't have release dates. You actually know 14 because Wolverine. They just haven't updated this list. Wait, hold up, TBH. Isn't it the same thing you got mad at sparking niggas for? Questioning your IQ in relation to fighting games? Ball and gun gamer niggas, first of all, no, it's not the same because Sparking Zero is an arena fighter. There's nothing high IQ about that. That's why that shit was such a insult. The fact that you don't even understand that, arena fighters are low IQ games. You press one button and do a fucking combo. It's not on the same. It's a reason why niggas who play Sparking Zero and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm are never in the top 8 for Street Fighter and Tekken. No, it's not the same thing, bro. You said, yeah, that was a ball and gun gamer comment. The reason I didn't count the fighting games because they are. I'll repeat myself for the millionth time. Fighting games are they are multiplayer games. But ball and gun gamers are not going to be playing Marvel Token like that. And if they do, they're going to rage quit the shit. Why? Because these games take skill. It requires being able to memorize a lot of different inputs and like situations. Them niggas is not doing that shit, bro. Fighting games are notoriously some of the hardest games to play. It's the reason why they don't sell that well. They're very niche. To be fair, not even to put it on ball and gun gamers. Fighting games as a whole are niche. Battlefield 7 and COD are coming. That's why, hey, Siggy, jokes aside, I said this year might be a Call of Duty year because it's looking kind of light, man. I'm hoping Call of Duty's good because I always like having a single player and a multiplayer game to play. And it's not looking like it's a lot of multiplayer to play. You ever seen Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Pro matches? Shit's awful. I don't know if Battlefield 7's coming out, though. Who brought up Sparking Zero, about to get them started? It's not even worth my time, bro. That comment was low IQ. It's the reason nobody's playing that shit. It's just boring. Thank God for Deadlock. Hey, I'm hoping Deadlock might be our savior. I keep hearing good things about Deadlock. I'm going to have to give it a shot. But even the problem with Deadlock is right now it's exclusive to PC. I would imagine they probably want to bring it to console eventually, but right now it's so that it's going to have a very specific audience. Is there a certain reason why Tekken has a huge black community? I don't know why. Niggas are just good at Tekken. I don't know what it is, man. Like you know that joke on what's that shit? The shit with Cartman, South Park. They made a joke that said black people are just naturally really good at playing the bass. I don't agree with that. I think the proper joke is black people are just naturally good at Tekken for some reason. I don't know why. But it is what it is, bro. It's a hood. Yeah, you know what it is? It is a hood classic. It is. I think fighting games permeate with the black community very well because a lot of us don't come from a lot of money. So what happened was if your parents were fortunate enough to get you a game console, they bought you Street Fighter, Tekken, maybe one other game, and it gave you a lot of replay value. Then you played your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, and shit like that. I think that's why a lot of black people are good at fighting games. It's not because some people will try to make a racist joke at it. I think it has more to do with it, like accessibility. Hey, that's facts. Just naturally good. I didn't play Street Fighter growing up. I played Tekken. I played them all. Mortal Kombat was my least favorite though. What else I got for y'all though? I went on a whole tangent. I didn't mean to do that, but you speaking facts for real? That's a universal experience. Tight shit. Oh, more evil corporation news. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier thinks Sony might pull the plug on PlayStation's PC ports, putting Wolverine fans in a bind. Now, on this stream for the last 2 weeks, I've been saying, if you are rooting for Xbox to fail, you have the wrong mindset. Rising tides raise all ships. If Xbox fails, if Xbox fails today, Sony's gonna fuck you in the ass tomorrow. And I'm here to let you know they're itching to fuck you. Itching. Because all of a sudden they want to pull their ports off a fucking PC. If a prominent industry insider is correct in his hunch, we might never see Insomniac Games' Marvel's Wolverine hit PC. Jason Schreier believes Sony could be turning its back on the platform, instead opting to keep its big budget single player adventures on its tall, white obelisk of a system in the future. Thanks to, you said, nah, by tonight, nigga. Thanks to a quote that's been doing the rounds today, just one day after we finally got a release date for Insomniac Games' long-awaited and famously leaked Wolverine title, PC players are now having to ponder whether they'll ever get a chance to see Logan's adamantium claws shine on their systems in a game with more bite than Marvel Tokens Fighting Souls. The quote stems from a discussion between Schreier, Kirk Hamilton, and Maddie Myers on this week's Triple Click podcast titled Why Phil Spencer Retired and What's Next for Xbox. The focus of the hour-long show is very much on the future of Xbox brand after having lost its long-serving head honcho, Phil Spencer, but the conversation does lightly touch on what it could mean for its famous competitors Sony and PlayStation. While the last few years seeing PlayStation's traditionally locked library of games trickle over to the PC storefronts, Schreier believes we might have seen the end of Sony's half dipping their toes in the water, despite the success of their games like Stellar Blade they've seen on PC. Because I can't stress enough, it ain't about sales. Matter of fact, because we know you PlayStation niggas don't buy games, a lot of these Sony exclusives are being subsidized by PC gamers. I say this shit all the time, and just for clarification, because Sony niggas get mad when I say this shit, when I say you niggas don't be buying games. Obviously what I'm about to say don't apply, let it fly. Sony niggas buy games, but you guys buy the same shit every year. Matter of fact, I'll bring the article up just as fucking proof. I think it should come up in my, yep. Most PS5 owners are buying the same game since 2022. So when I say PS5 niggas don't buy games, specifically, and I gotta get better at wording this shit, because when it gets clipped, niggas get mad because they don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying PS5 niggas don't buy exclusives. You bought a PS5 to play Fortnite, Call of Duty, GTA, Roblox, and Minecraft. 2024, same shit. 2023, the same shit. But then they be in Twitter spaces bragging about how great their exclusives are. How would you know? Y'all don't play them. The only reason a lot of these exclusives keep getting made is because PC niggas are buying them. And the worst part is, the people who perpetrate the conversation that gaming is dead is mostly you console niggas. You have games on the platform, you don't buy them, and then bitch, there's nothing to fucking play. Shit's crazy, man. Shit's fucking crazy. Anyways, I think the sense I'm getting is that they're backing away from putting their exclusive console stuff, like traditional single player titles, on PC, before agreeing with the idea that a theoretical sequel to the Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yote's RPGs could skip PC entirely. While it's not surprising to see Wolverine release date announcement come without word of a PC version, given the PlayStation PC's port tends to drop long after their console counterparts, Jason wouldn't be surprised if Wolverine never escaped Sony's big white box. I wouldn't either, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this is why I said Sony's gonna be, if Xbox collapses tomorrow, Sony is going to fuck us. Friendly reminder, the only reason Sony's exclusives came to PC was because of Xbox. Friendly reminder, the only reason you get those free PlayStation games every month was because of Xbox. This is what I mean when I say rising tides raise all ships. Competition is good. If you eliminate the competition, you eliminate the desire to get better. Because Xbox was the first to put their exclusives on the platform. Sony saw how much money Xbox was making with their exclusives on PC, and they said, damn, maybe we should do that. But if Xbox don't exist no more, they're gonna say, fuck all of y'all. And then we all lose. This is why I said being a console corporate cocksucker is beneficial to nobody. Sony got their own Game Pass. That shit is stupid, but yeah, they got their own version of Game Pass or whatever. That's why I say I think it's disingenuous when people are like, Xbox didn't innovate in certain places. They did. The problem is the execution wasn't the best. But we can't get to the root of the issue if we don't talk about what actually happened. They fucked up when they raised that price. They fucked up when they bought too many studios too soon without recouping their money. That's poor execution. But let's not act like we didn't love Game Pass 2 years ago. We all started hating that shit when they jacked the price up. That's an execution problem. Something that could be fixed. Also, they gave away their exclusives. That was fucking stupid. I don't know why they did that shit. They might become the new Nintendo. They could. So him saying this, meaning he's hearing murmurs behind the scenes, it could happen. I will say it doesn't mean it's gonna guarantee that it's gonna happen, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Less options for everybody. What else I got for you? Oh, more PlayStation news. And I swear to God, I'm glad the official God of War Amazon Prime account tweeted this out. I feel like this shit is too loud. Oh, there. I'm glad they tweeted this out because if I would have saw this on the timeline, I would have thought that this was AI because it looks kind of AI to me. This is the first official screenshot of the God of War TV show coming to Amazon. What's y'all opinion on this? Is it looking good? I thought this shit looked like AI to me. True question is, do we really care? I personally care. I believe in preventative medicine. If we can prevent something, we should. The problem is most humans are reactive. You wait till you get sick and then you go to the store and then you drink orange juice. I don't know if you guys know that doesn't do anything. Vitamin C is a preventative vitamin. You're supposed to take it daily to boost your immune system. It's the same shit. So when you say, does anybody really care? Comment YouTube chat. You don't care now because it's not fucking you in the ass. But when they start fucking you with no lube, then you'll care. That's why I bring this shit up, bruh. I know, critical thinking. I think it looks cool. They don't want a black dude playing whiteface. I guess. I gotta see it in motion, but this image, it looks like too overprocessed, I feel like. I gotta see it in motion. Ultimately, PS5 will make the move, then find themselves right back to releasing on PC. Well, the best solution is just don't move, period. Just leave shit the way it is, man. At least in this case, change it like the first Sonic. I gotta see a trailer before I judge. What I will say is Amazon does tend to release good shows, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, but this image looks way overprocessed, I think. Yeah, it looks heavily digitally altered. That's what I mean. Yeah, it looks too processed. I hope the actual live action video doesn't look that good. We're supposed to evolve. What are these PS3 graphics? Bro, shut up. Other good PlayStation news. God of War Sons of Sparta co-op can now be accessed right away. Since the shadow drop of God of War Sons of Sparta earlier this month, some players have complained about being unable to play the co-op mode until after beating the game. That ends now because Sony has revealed a way to skip ahead of the pit of agonies. As revealed on the PlayStation, man, I'll summarize it for you. The new 2D prequel game for God of War has a co-op mode and it's listed in the PlayStation Store, and a lot of people got upset because you couldn't play it when they downloaded the game. It turns out you had to beat the story mode before you could access the co-op. Now there's an update, you can access the co-op at any point. So I mean, whether you're interested in the game or not, to me it's a W for them to listen, and they listen to the community. I'm not gonna get mad at that. I still would only play this if it was on sale, but they're listening to the community. I can't be mad at that. Other news, if you care about graphics, the PS5 Pro is getting upgraded upscaling tech in March. After suggesting a version of AMD's FSR 4 could be ported to the PS5 Pro last year, it looks like Sony is finally rolling out an update with the upscaling tech in March. Mark Cerny, the lead architect of the PS4, 5, and Pro, shared via a blog post that the PS5 Pro will be updated with a new version of the company's PSSR upscaling tech next month, and Resident Evil Requiem will be one of the first games to use it. PSSR is an AI library that analyzes games images pixel by pixel as it upscales them, Sony said, which boosts the visual fidelity of games on the PS5 Pro while running them at a less demanding resolution. The upgraded version of the PSSR takes a different approach to not only the neural network, but also the overall algorithm, and is now able to keep both frame rate and image quality high when enabled. Translation: your PS5 Pro will look a little bit better. Just know you will not see any of this unless you have a monitor or a TV that can handle these resolutions, but I'm never going to complain that you're getting more value out of your platform. I will say, though, and I wish they had data. I wish we could get data on what type of games PS5 Pro owners play specifically. I wonder if Sony could track that, because I wonder if the data changes, right? Because we just brought it up, right? Hold up. Let me bring that article. I shouldn't have. We just brought it up, right? So average PS5 owners, they're playing the same 5 games: Fortnite, Call of Duty, GTA, Roblox, Minecraft, every fucking year. These are the top games. You guys bought PS5s to play Fortnite for some reason. And act like games don't exist. I wonder if the data changes if you eliminate base PS5s. Because I'm curious to know how many PS5 Pro owners are playing Roblox in 8K? You know what I'm saying? I have a sneaky suspicion if you own a PS5 Pro, you're probably playing the exclusives. But if that's not the case, I would be highly disappointed, chat, to find out motherfuckers bought a PS5 Pro to play fucking Call of Duty and Minecraft in 8K. But I would imagine if you're paying that $700, you're probably more of an enthusiast. So you probably are playing the God of Wars at higher frame rates and shit. Like, I need some data on this. Yeah, 2K and 8K, I would be very disappointed in gamers, bro. You bought that shit to play 2K and 8K and cry about cheaters. But I have a hunch they probably play exclusives more. I wonder if that would be cool to get that data and see how it differentiates. What else I got for ya? Oh, Samson. We got more details on Samson. It's coming to PC on April 8th for $25, developed by ex-Avalanche developers from Just Cause and Mad Max. Plays like a brawler set in Max Payne's 90s New York. Underworld grittiness oozing out of every square inch of that, whatever that town is. It's not AAA in scope, and around 40 hours of sandbox time. Play as Samson McCrae, fresh out of prison from a robbery job gone bad. You're on the hook for debt and a target for the people behind the job. The game's more limited scope allows it to focus more on smaller details, so it'll be more story-driven. Combat equals heavy and light attacks, throw objects, shove, parry, evade. Feels heavy in a really good way, so punches will have power to them. Progression system unlocks skills in categories like instinct, which increases adrenaline. Tactics increase health, aggression, or cunning. Hard-hitting in-your-face combat. The game is split into days. Each day is split into afternoon, evening, and night. You have to pay back an amount of depth each day, and you can choose what quest you want to do, which moves the day forward. Some jobs can only be taken at certain times of the day. And then there's like some gameplay right here too. I
took notice of Samson, a Tindleston story, when its team of former Just Cause and Mad Max developers posted a blink and you'll miss it teaser of Tindleston itself.
Yeah, I remember this at a Game Awards show, but we haven't seen it
Liberty
since.
City or Max Payne.
Shout out to Melody with the sub, appreciate it.
Look at proper gameplay and a demo with the creative director only upped my interest, and now that I've had the chance to actually play Samson, albeit only for an all too brief hour, I'm officially amped.
That name is kind of ass.
Rundown brawler with
you ain't trying to get busy with Samson?
Your heavy punch can drop bad guys in one bloody shot, and you
he got them haymakers.
Stay in the fight.
This definitely looks like Diet GTA. Like, you could tell the scope is a lot smaller, but that's not a bad thing as long as the story is fire.
The setup for this 1990s set crime story sees you as Samson McCrae.
Does Samson have a face?
After eating a charge as a result of a robbery in St. Louis gone bad.
St. Louis? What you think?
Man, I just want to see the gameplay.
And cunning, which ups your finesse. This allows you to tailor your Samson to your preferred playstyle, whether you'd rather absorb and dish out maximum punishment in each fight,
What are those animations? Whoa, I don't want that shit.
Or strike quickly and frequently in order to speed up the maxing out of your adrenaline meter. Thumbsticks and enjoy a brief period of dealing extra damage. Gameplay segments are split into days, and within each day are afternoon, evening, and night. I guess Samson's not a morning person. Every time the sun rises, you'll have to pay back a certain amount of your debt.
Here we go again.
In order to do that, you'll need to take various small jobs around Tyndallston. Fortunately, you've got choices each day. It's not a linear mission structure. My first job involved finding the manager of a club called Chubbs and, well, beating the...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this, chat. I don't really like this gameplay. These animations, it seems like animations weren't in the budget.
crap out of it.
All right, I felt that one.
Naturally, it wasn't quite so simple. I had to worm my way through the bowels of the...
Bro, that's AI animation. It does look weird. Like what is this like? You know how when Akuma leaves shadows behind his body when he moves? It's like it has like this weird shadow effect whenever they move.
This mission functioned as a bit of a tutorial, allowing me to practice parries, dodges, light punches, heavy punches, and triggering my adrenaline meter after I'd built up enough adrenaline during the fight.
Is that the same guy? Hold it.
Adrenaline during the fights. It didn't hurt Samson's chances of me loving this game when the
What the fuck, bro? What is
Samson's chances of me loving this game when the...
Yeah, chat.
Man, I'm gonna play this off stream, man. We're gonna finish this mission up off stream.
I'm good off that, man. It's like there was literally no animation between the throw and the ladder. This nigga threw him and he just hit the ladder. Like it went from frame 1 to frame 45 out of nowhere. That shit is crazy, dude. I'm gonna I hope y'all clean that up. But right now, it's too many good games to be worried about Samson, man. And then last but not least, we got a new target. According to San Ran, or I think it's San Ran or some shit. I don't know. We got new PS4 gamers, nigga. New target alert. Actually, no. We got some new niggas we need to bully. So apparently these were in the comments of the new Pokemon announcement. Switch 1 niggas is upset that it's not coming to the Switch 1. Like, yeah, they put out the Switch 2 so that, and you know, a matter of fact, shout out to Nintendo. The Switch 2 has been out for like, what, 6 months? They said, fuck you, Switch 1 niggas. You want to play the new game? Get the Switch 2. That's what I like. That's what I like. One of the biggest, because I feel like we don't talk about this enough. One of the reasons why PS4 niggas exist, PS4 port begging welfare babies exist, is because Sony allowed that shit. And because they're fucking greedy. At some point, these studios and these hardware manufacturers have to put their foot down and say, no, bitch ass nigga, you want the new shit, buy the new shit. That's what, so shout out, I can't believe I'm saying shout out to Nintendo. They said you want to play Pokemon Wave and win, get a Switch 2. That Switch 1 came out 1,500 million years ago. We don't care, bro. And you know the crazy part about people bitching about this shit? These be the same people bitching that the last few Pokemon games run like dog shit. Guys, the reason those games run like dog shit is because the Switch 1 came out in 2017. Are you following? It's an old computer. It can't do it anymore. Every time you try to boot up a game. So a shout out to Nintendo. They said, no, get to it, upgrade. Let me upgrade. Let me hit it again for Nintendo. That's what I like to see. So guess what? Now that I know y'all on this bullshit, Switch niggas, we on you too. Switch 1 niggas, we are on you. From now, matter of fact, I'm making a call on some Meek Mill shit. I'm making a call. From now on, when we talk about Switch games off rip, you should know we talking about the Switch 2. We're not talking about the Switch 1. So if I say this shit coming to the Switch, we're talking about the Switch 2. We don't care what's going on with the 1. The 1 is for your little cousin, your little badass cousin that can't sit down. PS4 Menace Cap Mafia, you niggas is the new peasants. So this is a new development. I'm gonna keep my eye on these PS4 niggas, man. You should get a target board with Switch 1 on it. We gonna keep an eye on them niggas.